The best Evo match of all time, personally for me.
That's a tough one, man.
There's a lot of ridiculous Evo matches, but I'm gonna say Sonic Fox Goichi, Dragon Ball Fighters.
Goichi is unbreakable on defense, and you have the Scramble God on the other side. The best offensive player in the world for this game, Sonic Fox.
I believe Goichi's defense, he was blocking for like 80 seconds or something crazy, and Sonic Fox literally was just completely on the offensive.
Oh God, the 2H, that is gonna be the game for Sonic Fox. That's gonna be 2-2. 2-2.
I know it was a long time blocking because I ran out of breath talking about it. And it's also one of just my favorite matches that I've ever commentated. And it really just sticks out to me. And on top of that, it's one of my favorite franchises as well. So it kind of checks a lot of check marks in history.
Being in the crowd for Idom and Kawano was super crazy. Like being front row for that.
Kawano has been looking unstoppable at this point in time, but you just saw Idom go through so many players in a row.
It being such a close match as well, where it could have gone either way down to the final round, like last moment.
The life almost even here with 38 left on the clock. Scheming towards the corner. Thunderclap yet again.
No, too far away for the anti-air. The crush counter from Kawano. He gets the hit. Activation. Is this going to be enough to kill? Is this going to kill? It is!
That for me was just like heart-stopping stuff.
A personal favorite as an Ino player was probably Dairu versus Lein in Guilty Gear Strive Top 8 2023.
You think he'll get notes or picture Ino? I don't even know.
Daru wasn't able to take it, and it's a pretty rough matchup for Ino going into Happy Chaos.
Daru trying to backdash, not going to finish the job just yet. PRC slows him down, but Lein still very disciplined on the defensive end.
He fought for his life, he did well for the Ino bros, and I feel like the one quote that we all know from Daru Ino, right, is something to the effect of believe in her, right?
Wow.
Oh, Chemical Love immediately prevents Lein from taking his
And he took the first two and goes low. Stroke, OTG.
He had a really amazing performance over at that Evo, so it was inspiring for me. That's my favorite match of Evo of all time.
2006, there was a grudge match between Dogo versus Sanford Kelly in Marvel 2. And the reason why this is the best is because this was not planned. Dogo beat Sanford, so he got eliminated from the tournament, right? East Coast versus West Coast, they're talking a lot of smack, and they're like, yo, let's do a money match. Everyone's going crazy. Like, the staff was able to hear about this, and they're like, hey, why don't we put this on the main stage? Let's stop all the tournaments and put an exhibition match about East Coast versus West Coast. And that match was crazy. Like, the crowd was erupted. Literally, one side was all East Coast and one side was West Coast. There was no mingling. Everyone had their chosen sides. And I thought that was so sick. It was going a good back and forth, right? You had Seth Killian announcing, like, what an answer.
What an answer. What an answer.
That was beautiful. So I would say that match is my favorite because one, I was on stage coaching Sanford. Dogo had Sue Mighty as his coach and everything. So it was really cool. Like, I really liked that. Everyone popped off, and I still think even up to this day, people really look at that match as like, this is one of the best matches of all time. Even though it's not an official tournament, but it was an amazing exhibition match at Evo.
The best Evo match of all time was the person now known as Kazuru versus Caba.
Classic Street Fighter right here.
Oh,
the
no.
jump in, almost a win, one more touch situation. EX connects. Caba!
That was my moment. Evo 38, Ryu versus Guile.
I think you're still okay.
Upside down kick. Yo, run. To the
Are you kidding me? That was the hypest match of Street Fighter V ever.
My favorite Evo match is the Blaze Blue Grand Finals from 2014, Dogo versus Garareo.
You can still win this. This is the game where you just get a little bit of momentum, you can make a comeback. Just might do it!
Garareo making that loser's run was super impressive, and it felt like he was just winning in spite of fate. For him to go all the way to Grand Finals and take it, despite always being on the cusp of losing, is just maybe the most impressive thing I've seen in a fighting game.
He takes away Multi's health with the base race.
Hit.
He's done it! Galileo's done it!
From the impossible consequences of being in a loser's bracket.
My favorite one that will always stick out, obviously, was the Punko and Daigo match. It was Yoon versus Seth, I believe, when AE had just come out.
Nice, there's the randomness from Punko.
Oh, he baits it out!
Great timing there. I know he has a lot of anti-Yum tech.
And there he is again. Such a brutal guessing game from Seth. That's what it's all about.
And just how hyped the crowd was, because back then it was like Daigo, Daigo, Daigo. Now there's thousands of amazing players all over the world. But back then you really followed only a handful of players. And to see that moment where Angry Punko came out here and they were battling against each other, I think that's one of the most memorable things. I also will never forget the bass of every time Seth did his, his kick thing. You would hear that bass, and that just always stuck with me over the years. Amazing experience.
Evo 2022 for Tekken 7, Shadow 20Z versus Arson Ash, in which Shadow 20Z steamrolled Arson 6-0 to send Arson to losers and just shook the entire bracket. I don't think anybody really saw that much of a snowball effect.
6 seconds. Oh, 5. The wow! Ladies and gentlemen, Shadow 20Z cleared the board. No damage, no rounds taken.
It caught everyone by surprise, and the best part about it is that Shadow was working for that victory for a very, very long time, at least like 3 years.
For me, it's definitely going to be Shanks and Pred at Dragon Ball Top 8.
The cell scream.
They gave us the cell scream.
Yeah.
They did that for the crowd. They did that for the people. And the fake out on the cell scream at first was crazy.
No! Not like this! Oh, I swear, thank you. This was the biggest heartbreak of my entire life. I feel betrayed.
I got to be in the crowd for that front row, and the energy of the crowd was just so amazing for that. And just the fact that these players pretty much sacrificed their game to give the crowd, to give the people such an amazing moment.
Yeah! This is no game!
Even if you're not a Dragon Ball FighterZ fan, you know about that, you've heard about that.
I'm gonna be a little biased. It's me versus Daichan, Persona 4 Arena 2013. Mitsuru Mirror, Mass Destruction. The crowd is yelling the song lyrics.
Yeah, no, the crowd chanting. Oh, Lord Knight looking strong right now. He's not a favorite to win this match, technically. But however, he's already real strong and already a first round for Lord Knight.
I was extremely nervous. I thought it was super hype. I just think it's really cool that people who love the IP can connect with a game like that and have that happen at EVO. I basically think that's Persona's Cell Scream. Everyone uses the Cell Scream at EVO and stuff. So I think it's that moment. It's a very special moment to me.
Mena RD and Tokido last year during Street Fighter Top 6. Seeing both of them stand up next to each other, evoking the same kind of energy as the Akuma and Ryu Alpha 2 poster.
Yo, somebody give me a picture of that. I'm putting that on my wall.
It's such a magical thing that could only happen on something like a huge grand stage like that. There was no shortage of excitement in that match at all.
He gets double rolling here. He gets triple rolling here, excuse me.
That'll be $3.99. That'll be $3.99.
Cross up, stays in the front, goes low, and Mena with game 1 here.
I feel like that's what I hope every single match in Top 8 really brings to it when it comes to fighting games in any form. That match for me really helped sell both the dramatics of stage presentation and stage presence, and also backing it up with just the most expert gameplay you've ever seen. Also, it was the first year for Street Fighter 6, and that's always going to be really something special for me too.
The best EVO match of all time to me would be Justin versus Daigo. In 2009, Street Fighter 4, I feel like a lot of people, that was their entry gate into watching competitive play.
Justin now representing the U.S. with Balrog, the boxer, and his U.S. Stars and Stripes outfit.
It was, for me, one of the things that made me want to compete, made me want to travel. I think a lot of people got a lot of inspiration from it.
Maybe it's time for him to use some of those EX to go through those fireballs. I don't know.
There's the throw. It's going to come right down. Is he going to go for Arson? Oh, my God.
And also, it was just one of the most hype. Watching him play it all the way out, the Balrog swap was one of my most favorite memories of getting to watch people play at a high level. Absolutely, I would say Justin Daigo in 09 was certainly my favorite.